Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, April 26th, 2024. Haiku Friday. Yes, it is time. It is time. Mm. Oh, that's good tea. Um, let's do some haikus. What say you? What say you? Okay, so first one we have is from Max Q. Max Q writes, he's gone commando. Yes, it's Independence Day. And confidently. Now, that Max said that was a takeoff on an advertisement, but I don't, I think he said it was shorts that you don't have to wear underwear with. I'm not sure. I do know when I was back in my kilt wearing days, they would call that going regimental. Anyway, uh, thanks, Max Q. Thanks for trusting us with that. And then here's one from another one from Max Q. And this one I really like this one. The pink moon rising over April's sad wasteland, a cruel sky smiling. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And the pink moon, that's kind of a cool thing. I, there's blue moons, there's pink moons. It's all about when the occurrence of a moon appears. I believe that's what it's about. It has nothing to do with the appearance, the actual physical appearance of the moon. Thanks, Max Q. Now, last week I looked for Bill to send me one because Bill's always pretty stalwart in sending those, but I did not find it. And, my emails, I don't know what's going on with my email. Stuff sort of shows up later, I think. And I know my eyes, I'm not catching them, but I did search specifically for Bill's name and it wasn't there. So I apologize, Bill. I apologize. I'm sure I missed seeing that. But I think it's still apropos, but I'll let you, the listener and viewer, decide. From Bill. The extreme right only think in win lose terms. Sad. They miss so much. That is true. I feel like that's the saddest thing about some of our friends who've been kidnapped by a very sad and destructive movement, I think. But, it's given them community and we all long for community, right? But anyway, but I think you're right. I think you're right, Bill. It is a sad thing. So that was Bill's from last week. Bill's for this week is, and this kind of, I wrote Bill back because this echoed with me quite well. Early morning light feels so full of potential. What will the day bring? Yeah. I wrote Bill, I've been trying to kind of been thinking about, I guess I've been reading up a little bit more on brain stuff and I'll get into that in the premium or the platinum if you want to stay tuned to platinum about brain health type stuff. But anyway, thank you, Bill. And like I said, that really resonated with me. Synchronicity, right? Okay, so here's one from Rico-san. And I like this. Rico-san's so good at painting things that could apply to a lot of stuff. And I think I know what he's specifically writing about, but then I go, this could apply to a lot of different things. So here's Rico-san's. What nature reveals upon the eroded face, tip of the iceberg. Yeah. Lovely, Rico-san. Lovely, lovely. I'm looking forward to seeing what this platform is that you're building. I'm curious. I'm curious about the platform. You are always making cool stuff and writing cool stories and making awesome haikus. So thank you. All right, now this is mine, and this is one I thought of when I was running yesterday. Well, I have some of my great greatest thoughts when I'm running. If I'm not listening to things, and my wife, Sarah, she's always good about not listening to stuff. And I tend to want to multitask, like, oh, I could listen to this audiobook. And I kind of tune out on some great thoughts that come to me when I'm running. Or, sometimes they're not as great after I've sat for a while and thought about them. But I got done running and I immediately wrote this one down. And this is advice to myself, a mantra of sorts. If you're an a-hole, in response to an a-hole, you're still an a-hole. That was advice to me. And I know. I think a-hole is funnier than saying asshole. Maybe that's from um Dr. Evil in Austin Powers. Remember him saying something about so and so was an a-hole. And maybe that's why I think it's funny. All right. Okay, so that concludes today's haikus. Thank you to my haikuists out there. I really appreciate it. And again, please send me your haikus. Easy to do. Easy to do. Believe me, if I can do it, it's easy to do. But that concludes the reading of this week's haikus. If you want to stay tuned, I will tell you some stuff that's going on. Okay, here's what's going on. We're back sleeping in the yurt. Been doing it for a couple weeks now. Only problem is it's the coldness is not as much a problem for me as the actual light issue. There's so much light. And so I do have a little bit of an issue with that, but you know, boo hoo, boo hoo hoo. Uh, I wake up earlier in the morning and get more things done. Uh, let's see. We are in the middle of our fund drive for KYRS right now. That I will be back on the radio today on somebody else's show. It's always a great surprise. Hi, I'm scheduled to pitch with you today. People are like, who are you? And then before long, they're like, oh my God, why did this happen? Why did you hijack my show? But I'll be gladly hijacking somebody's show today at 4 p.m. on KYRS, Medical Lake, Spokane, 88.1 and 92.3 FM, or streaming live from kyrs.org. Check that out. Why don't you? So, yeah, if you want to give some money, the radio station's cool. We got so many cool different things. On my walk down, I was listening to some Devo music that they were playing. And then we have great interview shows. I got to sit in on Robert's show, Creative Mindset. We talked to a really cool woman, Hannah, who owns like a meditation center downtown. Stuff that you're not going to know about that's happening in Spokane unless you listen to KYRS. And one of the things we're doing this week too during our pledge is that if you donate $36 or more, we're going to donate, or we've worked out a deal rather with Feast World Kitchen to donate a beautiful meal to Hope House Women's Shelter. And that's been really cool. I think we've got like 70 something meals so far donated, and I'm very excited about that. All right. So, got that. It's such kind of an outmoded way of doing business. I think these funding drives, because usually they're front loaded right at the beginning. You have people who are fans of the station and they send money, and then that's it. So we need to figure out other ways to do that. So if you have any good ideas, let me know. I would love to know. What else? Oh, Stage Left. We're doing a gala fundraiser in the middle of May. Yeah, go to stagelefttheater.org and for that, and that'll be, I'm only on the board of organizations that have money problems. I realize that's sort of my calling, I guess. Oh, I'm not on the board of KYRS. They just let me do my radio show there, but I am on the board of Stage Left. All right. So, and then what else is going on at Stage Left? Well, Mr. Burns, in cooperation with Bright Comet Theater is actually producing this play called Mr. Burns. and I auditioned for the part of Mr. Burns. I did not get it. I don't hold that against them because I wanted to see this play probably more than I wanted to be in the play. Uh, and I did, when I auditioned, I kind of came up with my own thing and I sang the song "See My Vest" from The Simpsons. And that probably was the stake in the heart of my audition. But that's okay. It's okay. You just got to do what you feel like you got to do. And whatever happens, happens. Life is short. Do I have any other altruisms? I think that's it for now. So what am I doing art wise? Well, that's why you've stayed tuned, I bet. So, I'm in this thing called uh, Brush on the Bluff, and it's a fundraiser for Friends of the Bluff, and a bunch of artists will be painting outside May 18th at Polly Judd Park, and we'll be outside standing on the bluff painting pictures, which is something I'm not a big outside painter, number one. Number two, I don't really talk to people when I paint. So this is going to be outside my comfort zone, and I'm really excited about it. So I've been preparing, I've been practicing painting outside, setting up. I have a French easel which carries all the stuff in the box, and then I set it up. But anyway, that be that as it may, I have been prepping for this as I like to do. You know me, I don't. I like to practice. I like to rehearse. So I've been rehearsing painting outside. And so one of the things I've been working on is I've been doing this painting of this is the yurt. This is my the yurt that we sleep in at night. This is sort of a fauvist. I wanted to go for like a fauvist kind of rough folk art kind of look to it with some weirdness. And the thing about this is I mixed all these colors. I had and red, blue, and yellow, and I got all the colors except for you can see there's some fluorescent paints in there, like right here at this window, and I've mixed in a few fluorescent paints, and those. Um, I had to not mix. So, they used mostly from primary colors doing that. So that's the only painting I've done other than this oil painting that I've been working on and off. You got to let the paint dry and then, et cetera, et cetera. But, so this oil painting, it's of an alley scene from my friend Luke, who's an excellent photographer. He took this picture and it really struck me. And I thought, I've got to paint that. So it's a big painting, and I've been working on it for, gosh, probably over a month now, on and off. And it's taking shape. It's going to be super cool. But I'm working on that. I'm looking at it right now. I like it. Here's another thing I've been working on. Just look at this. This is a little sculpture I did of, yes, that's Sasquatch's foot. Now, if you're tuned into Haiku Friday, you're the only one who's seen this so far. So, but this isn't where this project ends. I've made multiple castings of this. What am I going to do with it? Well, that's a good question. You'll have to stay tuned for that. I'm hopefully getting a little more down that project. Um, Further down the line making that project happen. Today will be a big day, step forward in that, I'm hoping, and I'll have more to share with you on that. I'm really kind of excited, actually. Well, I am excited about all this stuff. So, and speaking of excited, I kind of said I would talk about brain work stuff. Yes, I wake up in the morning and I say to myself, thank you, brain. Thank you for all the great work you've done for me yesterday. And you know what? Today's going to be a beautiful day. Today is going to be a day that has so many adventures in store for me. Now, sometimes, the brain, sometimes it's a good thing to do because last couple days ago, I got denied for one of my veterans claims for my hearing loss claim, which I lost a lot of my hearing flying B-52s, but the Veterans Administration keeps denying me that. And I don't know why, other than maybe at one point I had an exam by them, which I do have severe hearing loss. I can't hear anything without hearing aids, but I could hear them calling me sir, and I kept correcting them, saying, I'm not a sir. If you look at my chart, it says female on it. and but they wouldn't have that. So I kind of wonder, I have to kind of think maybe this is a, I hate to go down that road, but maybe it is a prejudice thing. I don't know, but I just keep getting denied for something that everybody else that I know has gotten accepted for. So I don't know what that's about. But all to say, I set up my brain for that failure, and so when it came to me that day, and I'd been this appeal has been 3 years long. When I received the bad news on the appeal, I was able to ride that storm. And my hearing loss is starting to affect things like theater. I don't know how much more theater I can actually do because of my loss of hearing. And I suspect in a couple years, I might be, who knows, learning sign language, or hopefully maybe they've got something figured out by then, but it's getting pretty bad. Okay. So that was sad, huh? But let me tell you some good news. Last week on Sunday, which I guess would be this week, Sarah and I did the river run, 25K, that's 15 and a half miles. And Sarah took first place for her age group, and I took second place in that age group. And it was very much fun. Sarah beat me by a half hour. If anybody ever wants to talk about, uh, you know, uh, men wanting to compete in women's sports, so they transition into female. Why don't you talk to me about how that works out for an athlete? Because I don't think anybody does that, and it would be a bad idea if they thought that was going to help them. All right, so uh, been working on some meditation stuff a little bit more. Kind of taking care of little bit taking a little bit better care of myself, I guess you'd say, and learning to say no, which I'm going to say no to some things here pretty soon. And I'll keep you posted on that as well. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning into Haiku Friday. I really appreciate that you watched this. And like I said, send me some haikus. If you have news that you want me to share, I will share it on here as well. Why not? Why not? I can share it. People watch this apparently, and I will share it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Love you. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great, great weekend. Bye for now.